Look, all I'm saying is that Strap Bay is a good guitar player, and I think we should give him a call back.
Oh, don't you worry. That's not the last we've seen of Strap Bay.
Yes, well, good thing this is a democracy, and what I say goes. So my vote is that we kick him out.
Excuse me, there is no we. You are not part of our elite playground.
I sang the background vocals in that song. You know, the one where you singing about the Beach Barbie or whatever it was. I don't know.
Guys, are we not going to address the elephant in the room here?
No, we are not.
Hey, man, I'm gonna need you to keep you cool, man. You just said it was a democracy, not a republic.
Yeah, yes, that. Yes.
No, we are not doing politics here. Politics suck. We are not doing that. What I mean is that if we have Strat Bay playing in our band, then we are obviously going to be down a bass player.
You know, I don't see it. I don't know what you mean. I don't even think that fraud can play the guitar.
What? Of course he can play the guitar. Why else would his name be Strat Bay? He's good on the Strat, but he doesn't play a Les Paul. But look, I can play the bass. I'm here, duh. I just gotta come in with, Strat Bay isn't in here. Maybe like when he's off doing one of his mythical gigs in Japan, I hear he and Ben Tramer, they go up on stage like Buckethead, and they flip around the nunchucks.
Are you serious?
Like Buckethead.
You mean like Leonardo?
Donatello.
More like a total dingwallish.
Why are you looking at me like that, Ben? Every time, Ben. Could you please just change up the look for what? Lose the attitude, please. I mean, you are good. I love you, Ben, but you've just been looking at me awful suspicious lately.
Okay, Simon. All I'm saying is that I think it's going to be awfully hard for somebody to play both the bass and the guitar.
Yeah, so?
Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Wink, wink.
Oh, yeah, yes, well, that's okay, because we got me, the old, ace of bass, on the bass here. What? Ace of bass, that's pretty good. I should have come up with that before. I don't even need Strat Bay. Strat Bay is gone. We got the ace of bass. Strat Bay is dead. He's never coming back.
But I love Strat Bay. Strat Bay was my friend. We ate moon pies and drank I showed him my stamp collection.
No, you didn't.
What else, Gordon?
Okay, fine. Strat Bay's not dead. He's just temporarily not doing wicked guitar solos, because...
Because he took his guitar to the luthier to get it fixed.
Rob fixes guitars?
Of course he fixes guitars, you idiot. That's why he hasn't been on the show. Duh.
No, the luthier, the guy that works on guitars, not the Luther. Crap. Whatever. Don't you guys have like a show idea you're supposed to be working on?
Yes, we do. It's like a more grounded, realistic version of Mystery Incorporated.
Oh, I want to be the Mystery Machine. That's my nickname.
Yes, we know. You've already been over that. A lot.
This summer, from the creators of That Clue remake and Batman Mask of the Phantasm Dollar Store remake, comes Rudy Poo, a grounded Mystery Incorporated tale.
Zoinks! Look out, Cousin Velma!
Oh, my glasses! I can't see anything without my glasses!
Treasure. Trap! I'm gonna set up a trap! It's the treasure! Ascot. Mystery Machine.
Come on, dog. I want to be the dog. What's his name? Doobie? Doobie? What's it doing? Oh, look out! Here comes the bad guy.
That's gonna be Daphne. Kmart to Daphne.
This wig doesn't fit.
Like Zoinks! I'm so hungry I could eat a Dagwood sandwich with an olive on top.
Oh, Randy, you always eating. Speaking of eating, look at my ascot. Look out, it's the real bad guy, the Flying Dutchman and his gardener's treasure.
No.
Let's set up a trap.
No, it's the Flying Dutch oven, you idiot.
Boy, does he stink.
Speaking of steak, this idea kind of sucks. Got anything else?
Well, I got this idea for a bodybuilding soap opera. Being some of the real booty got me
Like sand in a duffel bag, so are the days of chicken and rice.
Oh no, I missed my alarm for the lunch after lunch after lunch after brunch. How am I ever gonna make my bulk up now?
Don't worry, bro. You just eat twice as much at the next meal.
You don't get it. You've never understood me. That's always been your problem.
PRs will be tested, and supplements will be sold.
All aboard the game train to Stration Station. Come and get your placebo games.
Look, I know it's a dangerous situation, but I have to go get that blender.
But why, man?
Because I had to blend my chicken to a smoothie before I ate it. Do you know how many calories are wasted digested chicken?
No.
Well, I don't either, but some guy at the gym said I will never get big unless I blend my chicken.
What guy? What gym? Stration Station?
No! The Leg Press Express. You'll never listen.
Oh, listen, look, that gym's just full of posers. You're giving into peer pressure here.
boy. One of them competed and they won the classic.
Which classic? The Arnold Classic or the Cutler Classic?
Coca-Cola.
Tempers will rise and relationships will snap and crumble. But from that, inspiration will be born.
I'm sorry, but the Stration Station is now closed. Leg Press Express, too. You're gonna have to work out in your basement gym.
Man, you wanna knock me out? I'm doing it, man!
Man, what are you doing? I'm worried about you. Your singlets don't match your headbands anymore.
I'm going down to the basement gym to pump some meat. Bicep, because my biceps is made of meat. Because I'm a meatball, and I'm angry.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you got in your hand there?
This is my broken work-along workout tape. I'm a bulkamaniac, and I'm not ashamed anymore. He's watching, you know.
Come on, brother, you want it, but you don't want to do it this way.
Don't you dare call me brother. Bulk Brogan is the only one that calls me brother anymore.
3 more reps, bro. Get you a nice cool down by walking around and breathing. The bulkster's watching.
So, what do you think, Kmart?
It sucks eggs.
Ah, crap, we forgot that part. Roll it again.
And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the show that keeps giving you the things that you don't want at times you don't want them, in regular intervals. This is Regular Time, just a regular show about the regular show. And we are nearing the finale of Season 2. Today we are on episode 26 of Season 2. Go viral. Sounds sick. Terrible dad joke. I'm not a dad. Before we dive too far into this, I need to mention that it is raining profusely outside, and there is a dishwasher running in my house. I'm going to try my best to get these noises out. I don't think the dishwasher will be that big of a deal, but if it keeps raining super hard, I would imagine I'll be able to pull most of that out, but I can't guarantee it all. So I apologize in advance if it's bad or terrible or any of those adjectives that are non-desirable. So anyway, I really don't have much to say because the last episode I recorded was like 4 days ago. But when I say like, I mean approximately. So school starts back in less than a week. And, yeah. Oh boy. That's about all I got to say to that. So seeing as I talked to you just nearly 4 days ago, although it'll be a couple weeks in between when you hear this, I really don't have much recommendations for you to look into, especially for like media. I'm seeing an advertisement for Heart to Heart, some sort of Kevin Hart Peacock original. I won't be watching that. Maybe you will, I don't know. I guess enjoy if you do. One thing I forgot to talk about when I went down to Nashville was that I got the chance to play one of the, I guess, big four of the carbon fiber guitar maker guitars. Well, that's a mouthful. McPherson. It was a McPherson Sable. And I must say, I was very impressed with that guitar. It's an acoustic guitar. And you think carbon fiber, that probably sounds like crap. I thought it sounded actually very good. I thought it would be ideal for recording because I suppose with carbon fiber being a little bit more rigid than wood, it doesn't, the neck doesn't bow as much as with wood. When I say a little, I mean a lot more rigid than wood. But the tension on the strings remains constant throughout things. I think they can even put like tremolo systems on those acoustic guitars with the way they're built, which is really cool. But the thing that was cool about this though was every note on the neck was pretty even. There wasn't anything where like the guitar, like a certain frets, the guitar just sounded like it came alive and then it was really dead in some spots. It sounded like very consistent throughout. So I was very pleased with that, just not $3,500 pleased with it. So it would be nice if I could find one used because, they're pretty durable. They're made of carbon fiber. So I would like to, I'm looking on Reverb, but I just don't have the money to pull the trigger on one of those right now. So if anybody wants to send me some to get a carbon fiber guitar, I will happily take it. All 5 of you that's listening. I'm sorry, 8. I had 8 listeners the other day. I have more subscribers, but 8 people had listened to the show that I'd put out. So victory. Anyway, that's about all I got. So one thing I need to mention here I just pulled up the wiki for Go Viral. I forgot to mention a lot of the trivia or maybe differences from the original pilot that they had on first day. There was a bunch of them. I didn't read through those ahead of time, and I guess I didn't read through them at the end from what I remember. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that right now. But I would encourage you to look at all those if you are interested in that type of thing. I think we caught most of them, or at least my feelings towards the episode was in alignment with what most of them said. I think a lot of it had to do with like Benson giving out lines that Skips maybe should have said instead. But whatever. Got to thinking about that episode more. I was very. It's a very mixed bag, but I was pleasantly surprised once again. I enjoyed that episode, even though I thought the plot was fairly shallow. Shallow and pedantic, yes. No, I thought the characters were different and everything, but I just liked the way they executed it. They took something old, recycled it into something new, shined it up a little bit. It's just cool. It's cool thinking about how, bands will do that with songs, and I guess animation companies or animation teams will do that with their productions and whatnot. So anyway, let's get into Go Viral. So Go Viral aired on July 18th. I'm sorry, July 18th of 2011 in the U.S. and November 6th, 2011 in the U.K. 2.01 million viewers. Age rating of PG. Main characters Mordecai and Rigby. Main enemy Warden of the Internet. Main setting Park and the Internet. So I haven't been listing that, and quite honestly, I think I've probably just been looking over it. Credits directed by Mike Roth, written and storyboarded by Benton Connor and Calvin Wong. So usually I enjoy their pacing and their, I guess, writing style. I guess I don't really. I know what boarding is and writing is, but I don't know how to explain like what it is I enjoy. I enjoy their style, I guess. The last one I can remember was More Smarter, and it was very just Simpsons influenced. Seems like that's the duo that kind of likes to lean out there towards the absurdist a little bit more. The style of absurdism, is that even a word? I don't know. So the synopsis for this episode: Pops is accidentally sent to the computer world during a video for a 2-on-2 competition between Mordecai Rigby, Muscle Man, and High Five Ghost. So the episode of Adventure Time that this one aired with, or right before. It's a Latin name. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I've got it. Oh gosh, I'm going to butcher this. Morituri ter. All right, yep, already. I blew it. I had one job. Morituri te salutamus. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking that has something to do with the dead and saluting. Salute of the dead. I don't know. Salute your shorts, baby. Camp on Awana. I do recall this. I've seen this episode of Adventure Time several times. And I don't know if it's that I'm burnt out on it. Quite frankly, I never really did like this episode, I don't think. It's not bad, and there's things I can find in it that are good. But I think that the voice work for Finn is not that great just in this particular episode. I'm not saying it's always bad. It's usually pretty good. But there's just something about this episode. Basically, the gist of it is Finn and Jake stumble into this like Roman Colosseum, and there's this like dead emperor there or something. I don't guess it's really Roman. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. But basically, he's the like king of the dead or something, king of fighters. I don't know. But they're fighting all these ghosts and dead people, and I mean, there's a lot of aspects of this episode that I just don't care for. That's not to say that it's all bad or that it's just not my cup of tea, and especially like it's really forced the acting like with Finn at the end. I should stop saying like. I'm sorry, but when I don't like something that well, I gotta say like a lot to compensate. That's how it works. But Finn's he's basic. I'm going to spoil the episode here. I'm sorry. So if you want to go watch it before you hear this, go watch it or skip ahead. I don't know, 20 seconds or something. But here we go. Finn's basically figures out that the dead guy's power comes from his sword or something, and they're playing this thing like a dungeon. They're trying to conquer it or whatever. And basically, he pretends to turn like evil and has bloodlust, and he tries to fight Jake at the end to where the Emperor will give him his sword to where he can kill Jake, and then they both break it or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's not much to the episode, in my opinion. I would definitely say, without even watching, that the regular show episode this week wins. And once again, I love Adventure Time, and that's not even a bad episode. Like I said, I've just seen it so many times. It just doesn't do it for me anymore. But having already recorded the season finale episode of regular show, I can tell you that the episode of Adventure Time that aired alongside the season finale for season 2, well, that's a mouthful. That episode of Adventure Time is fantastic, in my opinion. That would have been a great night to have been watching Cartoon Network. So, this Monday night, though, let's see what else we got here. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm familiar with. Mad? No. Now, early Adult Swim at 9 o'clock, we had Plastic White Female, which is a fantastic Bobby Hill episode. And The Company Man, I'm not sure if that's the one where Del Gribble gives up exterminating and goes to work for Stick Tech. But yeah, whatever. Earlier, there was Adventure Time reruns at 4:30 for Belly of the Beast / The Limit. I remember talking about Belly of the Beast already this year. That's another episode that I don't care too much for. Seems like a lot of these earlier Adventure Time episodes, until they like kick it into high gear, it's kind of like, you look and you'll find, I mean, it's like 6 out of the 12 minutes is good. I don't know. I may just be overestimating or my math just might be horrible. I don't know. I heard somebody on another podcast today say that they asked how much a guitar cost back when, and they're like 30, or how much an intern would make working at this guitar shop sweeping up. And it's like, oh, they work for free now, but like, I I don't know, this is probably too much, but enough to buy a house and a car and have 2 kids and $80 a week. That's probably, and this was back in the 50s, and the guy was like $35. And he's like, okay, so, and he's like, that's $300, something by today's standards. And he's like, yeah, exactly. Enough to buy a car, buy a house, get married, and have 2 kids. I'm thinking, who buys a house making $300 a week? That's like $14,000 a year, somewhere around about. Who's buying whatever? And I'm not going to say the name of the podcast because, well, quite frankly, they have more listeners than I do. And who am I to? Okay, quick cut. Let's talk about Go Viral. Boy, that rant got a little too long. Had to edit that one out, folks. Regular show, Go Viral. Let's see what we got going here. I've already read off the credits, except for the voice acting, so let's talk about that. We got, let's pull this up here. Mordecai, High Five Ghost, is J.G. Quintel, of course. Rigby's William Salyers. Pops, Muscle Man, is Sam Marin. We got a lot of additional voices on here. So we got Librarian, which is Mitzi McCall. Mitzi McCall. I don't know if she's been on the regular show or not before. Richard McGonigal, I'm sorry. He's Old Man Horseshoes, and Nunchuck Bro. You'll see when it gets there. And Richard McGonigal, he's making more and more appearances now in season 2. So if you recall, I think that he's Sully from Uncharted, but he's been in a lot of different roles, as I'm sure Mitzi McCall has. And we know that Roger Craig Smith has. He's been in a lot of roles and regular show, period. So, but he is Tony and Victim. Yes, not Tony, but Tony. No, it really is. It's Tony. But anyway, let's see. Do we got anything else I need to mention here before we get started? I don't think so. So, boy, there's a lot of trivia here. I hope I remember to talk about that. There's a lot here. I don't know if I'm going to catch all that. There's some of it I'm sure I will, because I'm sure being this is a viral video type episode, I'm sure that it's going to be like playing into a lot of the popular internet viral things at the time, or maybe even other shows at the time. I don't know. But the episode opens, birds chirping, all that jazz. Got the house at the park. So the first thing we hear is Mordecai, dude, get off the computer, Muscle Man. We got the 1:30 slot or something like that. So right off the bat, we see one of these little detail type things that makes this show great. Mordecai and Rigby are trying to get Muscle Man and High Fives Ghost to get off the computer to where they can, I don't know what they're trying to do on the internet yet. I can't remember. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen this one, but he holds up the sign-in sheet and they are 30-minute blocks. And it goes from 11:30 and it looks like down to 4. And every 30-minute block is signed up by Muscle Man and H5'S, so High Fives. Except for 1:30. There's Mordecai and Rigby at 1:30. So Muscle Man like shoves Mordecai back. He goes, we still got 5 minutes, you know. That's not the dialogue he uses, but he says something along the lines of we still got 5 minutes. So he shoves him to the side and they go to wait in the, quote, waiting lounge. And the waiting lounge is just 2 wooden chairs on the other side of the room with a sign on the wall that says computer room waiting lounge. And it's got like a water fountain beside it, but it's not like the one where you push the button and the water shoots up. It's not a fountain. It's like a cooler or whatever. You know, it's got the water tank and you know, gravity drops it out when you pull the nozzle, whatever. So they go over there and they sit and they watch Muscle Man and High Fives Goes watch internet videos. And we get to see clips of the internet videos they're watching. And the first one is it's Old Man Horseshoes. And he's out there in the thunderstorm trying to play horseshoes. And he goes, ugh, and then lightning strikes him. And it turns him into a pile of ashes. And they think it's hilarious. Muscle Man and High Fives do. And they're like pounding the table and go, oh, and then the point. And then he says, hey, Old Man Horseshoes, you're pathetic. So thinking, good Lord. Okay, whatever. And then we cut over to Mordecai and Rigby and they just think it's stupid. So then they go to another video, and I don't remember what the video is called, but it's a pig in this car, and the pig's got like an Evel Knievel outfit on, like, the white helmet. And I don't remember if it has a cape on or not, but it's got like the white outfit, something like stars, how Evel Knievel dressed up. But the pig starts squealing and it hits the gas. The car takes off towards this cliff, like this canyon. Like, Evel Knievel tried to jump the Grand Canyon or whatever it was. And there's the stupid thing is these two canyons are like, they're level with each other. It's not like it doesn't hit a ramp. It's not higher in elevation when it comes off for the jump. It just runs straight off this flat level surface right into the side of the cliff, and the car blows up. And and they're ha-hawing it up again, and they look over and he goes, "What's the matter with you?" He goes, these videos have everything. Have everything, a setup, a punchline, somebody gets hurt, come on. And Mordecai and Rigby go, "Still not funny." And then Muscle Man says, "Get over here. You can thank me for this later, or you're going to thank me something." He pulls up another video, and it's a guy drinking a pop or soda out of like a fountain drink cup, slurping out of a straw. And this ninja comes up behind him and gives him a wedgie. And we hear like these flutes, like, these Chinese or feudal Japan type flutes or whatever. I don't know what the instrument would be. And then we get a stinger that says Wedgie Ninja, and he's giving the peace sign. And then they're laughing, except Mordecai. He's like, and he goes, "Wait for it." And the guy's laying there on the ground, and he goes, "Why, Wedgie Ninja?" And then a bear falls on him out of nowhere for whatever reason. And it has a xylophone or a glockenspiel or something in it. And he plays this little descending melody down the thing, like something's going down staircases. And then out of nowhere, the thing farts on his back. And I guess it's like so hard that it sends the guy's legs up into the air. And the funniest part about this is that Fives has his hand wrapped around behind him, coming up in front of him, and he's covering his mouth to laugh. But Muscle Man states the obvious. "Oh, yeah, bear farted on him." And then Rigby's laughing. Mordecai's like, "Dude, why are you laughing?" And Rigby's like, "Oh, is it the bear farted on his back? Andy got hurt," and it's like, okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I watched this episode for the first time ever, I never really found that Wedgie Ninja video to be funny. I thought the ostrich and the ball thing from way back in like season 1 was funny. The pig going to the side of the cliff, even though the pig gets killed. But just the concept of, like, who thought of a pig? Production, it reminds me like the WWE story production rooms when they're coming up with creative. Who was Bruce Pritchard's like, "Listen, when you go in those creative meetings, you don't say something unless you mean it, because a lot of times it'll end up getting made." So I can just imagine somebody, I don't know, let's throw a pig in a car and run it to the side of a cliff. So, the pig will be driving. So anyway, I guess that's how, I don't know how those things go, but don't say it unless you mean it. So the more I think about this, the more I feel that Mordecai is kind of the voice that I relate to, probably that most listeners relate to, because around the time, and even still today, some of the viral videos you see that, they have all these plays or hits or whatever that's called, they're super famous. Everybody knows them, but there's some of them that I really like that, it's, oh yeah, that's pretty clever. Some of them I can't stand the first time I see them. It's like, I can't wait for this thing to just sail off into the sunset, And that's kind of what this puts me in mind of. But Mordecai's like, those are stupid videos. Blah, blah. And Muscle Man says, "Yeah, well, if they're so stupid, why does it have so many hits?" And it has like 78,000 or something, which is, for a podcast that has 20 listeners, that's a big deal. But like, I gotta stop saying like. But I'm thinking most of these viral videos nowadays, millions and millions of hits or views or whatever. So it just shows you how times have changed, I guess, which is crazy. 2011 feels like it was yesterday, to be honest with you. Whatever. Can't get caught up on that. So they put in a bet, but long story short, they make a bet that one of them's going to they're both going to make videos and see which one gets more hits by the end of the month or the week, one or the other. And I think the wager is that the winner gets the computer room for the whole week or month or whatever, something like that. So we cut into a montage with the great Pat Benatar's song, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, which is not my favorite song from her, but, it's like that one guy that quit in the middle of the school year told me, you can't not like Hit Me With Your Best Shot. It's a classic. And I got to agree, it's a classic. It's overused a lot of times, I think, but it is a great song. That's the thing. These great songs, it's like, they're great, but stop playing it every 5 minutes. Maybe that's the thing. That's it. That's the connection here. Viral video, stop playing it every 5 minutes. Great song. Stop playing it every 5 minutes. You're diluting it. But I do love Pat Benatar. She might be my favorite female vocalist in rock. Most people, the whole Rolling Stones greatest vocalist of all time, Stevie Nicks, was up there like at number 2. No. I'll take Pat Benatar over Stevie Nicks. That's just my opinion. I'll take a lot of, whatever. That's just my opinion. Not saying any of them's bad, obviously. They're, they made it for a reason, so. All right, so let's see what happens in this montage. So, after watching the whole thing, I gotta say, it's not as good as the montage on first day. Or it's not as well coordinated, I guess. But, Hit Me With Your Best Shots playing. They're making different videos. First one is Mordecai shooting Rigby on a skateboard with 2 basketballs, dribbling it, and they posted it on Woohoo. I don't know if that's like Yahoo or YouTube or I don't know. But it gets 25 views. So the Muscle Man 5s do the same thing, except High Five Ghost is using 5 arms, I guess that he's like generated. And he's dribbling 5 of them 5 balls at the same time. And then he does like 5 windmill shots with them, and they all go in. They get a bunch of views. They win that round. I don't know if they're rounds or total views or what. That's the thing. The rules on this they make no sense. So I don't know. But it's regular show. Who cares about the rules? It's 12-minute episode. Next video, Mordecai's filming Rigby trying to chop. They got apples lined up on a table, and he's going to try to like chop them in half with his hand. And he fails on the first one. The apple like hurts his hand or breaks it or something. When I say like, I mean it approximately hurts his hand. So then Fives films Muscle Man crushing fruit, but instead of breaking apples, he is crushing melons with his gut. Yeah, he's crushing melons. Interesting. Whatever. With his gut. Yeah. So, he's doing the whole woo thing at the end, and I think that ends up that gets a bunch of views. Well, then the last ditch effort, comedy rules of 3, Mordecai and Rigby. Rigby dresses up as a gorilla and gets in a recycling bin or a trash bin or one or the other, and he's hiding in it. He's going to scare Muscle Man. Mordecai runs in the bushes to film it. And when Muscle Man comes up, he opens up the thing, and Rigby jumps up with the gorilla suit, and it scares Muscle Man. Muscle Man punches him in the face, which I'm pretty sure is a reference or a tip of the hat to. There was a video back in the day, probably around this time, probably a little bit earlier than this, actually. Maybe not, I don't know, but I don't remember where it was at, but this dude standing there and somebody is in it's basically the same thing. He jumps up to scare him and the guy punches him in the face. I still don't know if it's real to this day or staged, but I do remember probably me and a couple other guys, what's the dude's name? One of them's name was Clint, the other one's name was Chris Kirk. We went to Roan State and Harriman, and we sat in the library, and we laughed our heads off to the point where I think the librarian had to come and tell us to leave. I don't think anybody else is in there. I don't know. I don't remember, but we laughed our heads off at that, the leprechaun, and the whistle tips for the cars. the news broadcast over and over and over. And the Admiral Akbar, it's a trap, it's a wrap, all that. So yeah, good times. But turns out when Muscle Man punches Rigby, this is what's not in that real life video. The bin on the receptacle shuts, or the lid on the bin, shuts, rolls down the stairs, stays upright the whole time, like perfectly upright. When it gets down the stairs, it just happens to it gets right perfectly in line with a garbage truck and then decides to turn over into the garbage truck. It's really, I don't know, the animation, it's I'm not saying it's poorly drawn. It's just like, no, that would never happen. And it's like, I don't know. It's so fake looking. But Fives was filming it, so, it really happened in this universe. And when they upload, Muscle Man and High Fives goes to upload that video, and it gets like 750,000 views, which is already almost 10 times as much as the Wedgie Ninja video. So, I mean, you'll see where I'm getting at later on in the episode when we get to the viral world, but it should be like Muscle Man and Fives should be there because they have already beaten Wedgie Ninja, but whatever. So Muscle Man says that's the final day on the calendar. Muscle Man's like, pay up, losers. So Mordecai's like, no way, the week's not even over yet. We still got a day. We'll have a great internet video by the end of the day. And Muscle Man's like, we're 1 million views ahead of you. And Mordecai's like, no, we'll do it. Muscle Man says, how much you willing to bet? And Mordecai, double or nothing. And then the scene cuts. But during this scene, I got to mention that Rigby's costume has like gum plastered on it and Band-Aids. And it almost looks like he's got an old school like Bugs Bunny lump on his head, But anyway, the scene cuts and they go to make a viral video. And Mordecai, the shot is like the camera screen and it's recording, Mordecai says, okay, best internet video ever. Take one, and it's just Rigby jump on a trampoline. He's like, I don't know what to do. And he says, just get some sweet jumps, do some tricks, whatever. And he jumps up and he's like kissing where his biceps would be and playing the air guitar and, just stuff like that. And Mordecai's saying, you're not getting enough air here. I know what to do. And he gets up on there, and right as Rigby lands, he jumps up and lands too. So, like Newton's third law and all that energy gets dispersed when he hits, and it causes Rigby to, bounce up really high. So, we didn't call it the double jump. That's what Mordecai calls it. He goes, it's called the double jump. We called it a super jump or super bounce or something when I was a kid, but everybody's done it if they've had a trampoline. It's the thing that the manufacturers tell you not to do because they don't want to get sued. But, so when he does that with Rigby, it launches Rigby off and he hits his head on the tree branch and it knocks him down. And it's like, that's the point where there's your video right there. For this time period, that would have been a great video, especially if you just edit it the right way and cut it, very quickly. That would have been a great viral video for around that time. But I don't know if they didn't get it, if they got it on film or not, but Rigby was awesome. And so I don't think they got it on film because we see Pops is there now and he goes, is this one of those newfangled movie cameras? And he doesn't have the camera turned towards the trampoline anymore. And Mordecai says, Pops, you don't want to touch that. We're trying to make a movie. And then we get one of the best parts of the episode. So Mordecai says, yeah, we're trying to make a movie. And Pops gasps and says, does your movie have talking? We used to call those talkies. Mordecai's like, I guess, I don't know. I think he says it like he says, we're going to be jumping on a trampoline. And Pops cuts in and he goes, we used to call those jumpies. So it's like, what the crap's a jumpy? What's a talkie for that matter? But it's so great because this is like a great little Pops quirk. Everything's so old timey, and that comes into play the season finale. Hey, I'm so old that I don't know what anything is. But yeah, he's got like his Monopoly Man top hat on here, and it's classic Pops at this point. So Pops wants to know if he can be in their jumpy, and they're like, I guess, and And then Rigby's like, yeah, let's let him be in there. The more weight you have, the higher you can go. And he's like, yeah, but then Rigby kind of like stops him from talking and just points, and we see Pops. And it's kind of obvious where this is going, but Pops is going, there's a cord on the ground. He goes, oh boy, somebody dropped a cord or something like that. He reaches over to get it, and the weight of his head pulls his head to the ground. He's laying there on his face, just laughing. And they said, Pops, you want to be on our video? So then they set it up, and he said, triple jump. So as Pops comes down, they both hit it, and then Pops bounces up, and he whee, and as he gets up there, a duck flies by, and he tries to grab it, and he falls back down. He says, was that high? And Mordecai's, yeah, but not 1 million views high. We got to figure out a way to do this. And he goes, I know. So then the scene kind of cuts, and Pops is standing on top of a golf cart by the trampoline. And they're like, all right, Pops, you're going to double jump with that refrigerator. They've got a refrigerator on the roof. Somehow I don't know how long it took them to get it up there, or how they got it up there for that matter, but it's attached to a rope. Long story short, they're like, jump. And when he jumps, they pull the refrigerator off, Rigby says jump. The refrigerator hits at the same time. Now, I don't know exactly how heavy a fridge would be, but with the pointed edge and everything, I don't know. Something about it just tells me that this refrigerator wouldn't just like hit the trampoline and bounce off. I know there's a lot of things, a lot of variables at play there. I don't know. Something tells me it might rip the trampoline. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. If not, I'm going to suspend disbelief because this is a great scene. Trampoline hits and the fridge hits, it bounces off, and as it's rolling off, the force is transferred, and it throws Pops upward. And he's going, what? He's flying up real high. And his face is so Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. Like the way his cheeks are getting blown back, it's kind of gross looking, but it's so hilarious. And he just keeps going. And it's one of those, he screams and it's so like extended that it's just kind of funny in itself. And they're like, look at him go. And then he gets up to a point in the sky where like he gets like sucked into this other dimension and he just disappears. And Mordecai's like, I can't even see him. Or Rigby says, I can't even see him now. And Mordecai says, don't worry, he'll come down. And this is such a Simpsons move. And it's also one of the most classic, I shouldn't even say classic, but one of the most signature regular show moments up to this point. He'll come down any second now. And Rigby reminds me of Bart Simpson here. A couple seconds later, he goes, dude, he ain't coming down. And then Mordecai is so Homer, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Just like a flip of a switch, super calm and collected. Somebody says one thing, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And it's like that. That is, when you see all these videos of people that just started watching the regular show, and it kind of seems like they haven't seen all the episodes, not to sound like snobby, because I'm not, everybody's got a different, that does sound kind of snobby though, the way I said that, but like, it kind of seems like they are only handpicking certain episodes, but they'll be like, regular show be like, hey, Rigby, let's go get milk. Benson said, you've probably seen him. Or trick shot, and then like, it'll say that it'll cut forward 2 seconds later and everything's on fire and all that. This is kind of one of those episodes that we're referring to where everything is just completely fine. And then things haven't even gotten surreal yet, except for Pops disappearing. But just Mordecai's just instant panic. It's so great. So they decide they're going to go rescue Pops. Forget the viral video. We got to get Pops. He could be dead. I'm going to get him. You're coming with me. So they set the skateboard with the refrigerator back on top of the house somehow. And they go, ready? And he goes, hang on. Bruce says, hang on. And he turns on the camera. He says, may as well have a follow-up video. And they go, okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Pull the fridge off again. Now, here's what gets me. If they don't hit this trampoline at the right angle, it seems, I don't know. I'm not a trampoline expert, but it just seems like they would get deflected off of the side or something, kind of like Rigby did with the tree, break their neck or something. But the trampoline hits, it sends them straight up in the air. And it's almost as humorous as when Pops goes, like, wah, but it speeds it up. So where the portal or whatever it is takes them is to this huge room with a bunch of circuit boards, and screens on the circuit boards are like TVs. And it's screens of all these viral videos on the internet. So I guess that's where something goes when it becomes viral. So they decide they're going to go hunting for Pops in this place. So they reach this place where Pops is at the front of this line. Well, it's not even a line. He's just talking to this lady on a screen who we find out is the warden of the internet. And she's like, step over to the right, to your right, please. And he goes, is this my photo for the interwebs? And she goes, sort of. And he takes his hat off. He goes, oh, I love photos. And he kind of twirls his mustache. And he goes, I am ready, madame. And she says, say doomed for eternity. And he says that. And then this shrink ray looking thing, Rick McGinnis or whatever his name is, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. That's what it looks like. It zaps Pops and sends him into this new screen. And Pops is, I got to back up here a little bit. On all these screens, they see these viral videos playing over and over and over and on repeat. Like Wedgie Ninja keeps giving this big biker looking guy, Wedgie, and getting punched in the face. And the stinger keeps popping up, Wedgie Ninja, peace sign. So Pops' video, though, it's not him doing the super jump or the double jump. He's just kind of hopping on a trampoline looking sad. But Mordecai and Rigby are like, what is this? She says, I'm the warden of the internet. She has a real interesting character design. She has like Ethernet cables for arms. And she explains that Pops made the mistake of trying to make a viral video. And now he has to spend eternity reliving that very moment, because the internet is only supposed to be used for serious purposes, something like that, and occasionally talking to relatives. So that's a kind of a clever line. And then they're like, Pops, and he says, I don't like viral videos or something like that. Don't like the interwebs, Mordecai and Rigby. And she goes, wait a minute, Mordecai and Rigby, you should be in that video with Pops. Now I have to reconfigure the laser video or something like that to where you two shall spend eternity reliving your crime or whatever. And as she's getting into talking, this part's great too. Rigby just reaches over and just out of nowhere, it's not hinted at or anything. He just hits the power button and turns her off. So that causes, I guess, all the videos to become more aware, maybe not even aware, but they're just like, hey, she's not watching. So then they start to get out of their TV screens. So basically what ensues is a cybernetic jailbreak. And Mordecai says, people of the internet, we're going to get you out. And don't worry, we're going to get you out. Grab somebody else. Grab as many people as you can out of their screens. So they start grabbing them out. And then it's basically like Pops is the last one, or he's like, Pops, jump. And Pops, when he jumps, he grabs his nose and squeezes it like he's diving in the water when he's not. He's just, diving down for Rigby to catch him. Rigby tries to catch him, but here's good foreshadowing here. The mass of Pop's head that they, mentioned when he was picking up the quarter, or, pointed out, it's too much for Rigby, and he tries to catch him, and it's a little too heavy, and it pushes him back. Pops' head hits the power button. Warden of the internet comes back on right where her sentence left off. She's like, crimes! And then she's like, what? And they're all escaping, and Mordecai, for whatever reason, he's like, Pops, Rigby, up here. And he's in this screen, and it looks like a stormy sky. And they all jump up there, and Warden of the internet, like, comes out of it. She pulls out, like, her plugs or whatever, the plug-ins to the wall. And it's just like a floating screen with these cables now. And she's in pursuit. And she kind of looks like one of the robots off of Matrix 3, I guess. Revolutions or whatever it's called. Where they're fighting them off with the giant machine-looking things with the machine guns. When they're flying around. She looks like one of those. She's chasing them. Eventually, the little cables become hands. But the first video they're in, that stormy sky, was Old Man Horseshoes. So he's playing horseshoes. They run, they jump on him right as the lightning strikes. So they save him. And then they're all running. Mordecai takes the horseshoes, throws them at Warden of the internet. Then they end up in this other video. And they're like, quick, in here. And there's a car. And they get in the car. And Mordecai, this all happens very quickly, by the way. Mordecai's like, wait, who's driving? And then Rigby says, Roadhog. And it's that pig with the Evel Knievel outfit, and he squeals. It's just the same video, and he takes off towards the cliff. And this is like Homer Simpson jumping the gorge, Springfield Gorge. They hit the thing, and except instead of Homer going, I'm going to make it, and jumping up and down on the board, Mordecai says, dude, we're not going to make it. And Pops, pulls out the classic line. They may have even recycled this. I don't know. He goes, look, and he points out the window, and there's like a portal to another video. So within, it would have to be less than a second, they're all up on top of the car. They get out from the car, and somehow they're all up on top of the car. Mordecai's got the pig in his arm. They all jump off the car as it goes by the portal into the portal. The car hits the side of the cliff, catches fire, explodes, whatever. And that kind of wards off the warden of the internet. No alliteration intended there. She hisses. And so let's see where they end up now. So they're back in the jailbreak room, the circuit board room, and everybody's gathered up. Mordecai, once again, almost a Homer Simpson type line, quick, to the portal, And they all get to the portal. Okay, and they all jump in, and he says, okay, now, Pops, you. Right as he's going to jump in, warden of the internet comes up and grabs his ankle, and they're like, no, and they're tug-of-warring, and she's laughing. And then good old hero comes to save the day. She goes, and, her eyeballs kind of bug out, and Wedgie Ninja's behind her, giving her a wedgie. And they're like, Wedgie Ninja! And he goes, it's very similar to Muscle Man's voice, but with like an accent, We'll go with Japanese. I'm not great with accents. We're going to go with Japanese, though. I don't know if ninjas were Chinese or Japanese. I know that Japan had the samurai. I'm thinking to combat the ninjas. I don't know. This isn't a history podcast. But it's Muscle Man's voice. I believe it's Sam Marin. And he's like, I don't know how long these panties will hold. And they're like, we'll never forget you. Oh, wait. They start to run, and he goes, Mordecai Rigby. He goes, link to my videos. And it's like, dude, you're in there because you're viral and you want people to link to your video. They say, we'll never forget you, Wedgie Ninja. And then he basically pulls warden of the internet up real, like above his head. And she starts screaming. And it's kind of like the Freddy Krueger with the TV in his stomach bashes the lady's head into the TV. Welcome to prime time or whatever. She says a bad word, but this isn't that bad. He just lifts her up and she screams and explodes. But the scene cuts and it's Muscle Man and High Fives goes on the steps and they're like, where's Mordecai and Rigby? The bed's supposed to be over there. Probably hiding because we beat him so bad. And all of a sudden, all those people start like falling down onto the trampoline from the sky. So you get a big pile of bodies on the trampoline, Mordecai and Rigby there, and Pops are the last ones to come out, which makes sense. They were the last ones to jump. And like fire like explodes out from behind them. They're just, wah! And then they hit the pile of bodies and they're just laying there. And Muscle Man's like, what are you losers doing? And Rigby holds up camera and says, making viral videos. And then I guess Glockenbear, that's his name, the one that plays the Glockenspiel, I guess he came out of the portal afterwards or something, and he came out at a different spot because he falls and lands on Muscle Man, who is probably a good 20 feet away from the trampoline, on the steps of the house, which I would figure would be covered up by a stoop. I guess it's not a stoop, but a awning or whatever. I don't guess it is. It never has been. I don't know. I don't know the layout of the house all that well. Shame on me. But he falls on Muscle Man and the whole trope at the beginning, plays the glockenspiel, and then farts on Muscle Man. And then they laugh, ha, 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 and it cuts and you see that's a video that's been uploaded. And now it's Mordecai and Rigby laughing their heads off. And Mordecai says, that's the best part. And Rigby says, and 2 million views can't be denied. And, how sweet is that? Something like that. Almost as sweet as winning $20 from this guy. So I guess the bet was for $20. So, I don't know. But I thought it was double or nothing. So I don't think they should be getting anything. But whatever, as they're going, they're going, whoa. And then you see all the internet people, whoa. And it's this chorus, but it almost sounds harmonized, like a very like dense chord with, ninths and 13ths and crap in it. But it doesn't sound as discordant as you'd think it would be with all those people yelling whoa. But whatever, as they're doing that, Pops, it just cuts to a shot of him and he's got his hands up by his mouth and he's laughing, ha 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 ha, and Muscle Man says, "Don't you people got somewhere to be?" And that's it. That's the end of the episode. So, yeah. Overall, it's the ending really isn't that great, but it wasn't a bad episode. It had some funny stuff in the middle. I think the beginning and maybe even the end probably wasn't all that great. So the mids were good. Relatively speaking, I think First Day was a better episode. But this one, every time I used to watch this one, I would enjoy this one. So, I probably should have mentioned, because I'm going down through here reading the trivia, I should have mentioned the videos that were being played, because there were some definite homages made there, or references. And some of them I recognized, and some of these I didn't. The definite one that I recognize is the dancing banana peanut butter jelly time. And I guess that was a viral video. Where I got that always from was Stewie Griffin, peanut butter jelly time, but whatever. So let me go down through here and read this trivia. Pop culture references. This episode has many references to internet web pages and memes. The web page Woohoo is a pun of the web page Yahoo. Okay. And the fact it's a web page to watch free online videos is a parody of YouTube. Okay, so cool. I kind of got that one. The video where Rigby tries to scare a muscle man popping up from the wastebasket disguised as a gorilla is a reference to the YouTube video Never Scare a Black Guy. I guess that's the title of the video. And that's the one I'm thinking of. That one was super apparent because it's like the exact same outfit and everything, or costume. The Wedgie Ninja is a parody of the Afro Ninja. I didn't know that. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of Afro Samurai. So I don't know what Afro Ninja is. Oh, I didn't. When Mordecai and Rigby enter the internet and look the monitors around, you can see some viral. Okay, so all the references here when they're in the internet and they're looking at all the viral videos. The Rage Guy, which just says, basically it's a long drawn out F word without the last two letters. Antoine Dodson from the video Bed Intruder. The Nyan Cat, Mark Crump from the video Rainbow Road. The Dramatic Chipmunk, Chris Crocker from the video Leave Britney Alone. Let's see, Gary Brawlsma, who stars in the well-known video Numa Numa Guy. Yeah. Okay, yes. David DeVore Jr. from the video David After the Dentist. Yeah, I caught that one. Okay. One of the monitors has a video of a monkey playing with a frog and a love heart shown above him. This could be a reference to the viral video Monkey. I'm not going to read that title. Yeah, glad I caught myself there. I'll be re-recording that. During the scene where the viral videos escape from the monitors, a character that resembles a banana can be seen. This could be a reference to the dancing banana from the popular YouTube video Peanut Butter Jelly Time. So, okay, there we go. That's what I always thought. The warden of the internet mentions the internet should be used for writing research papers. That's it. Okay. This may be a reference to the web search pages Wikipedia and Taringa. Well, now it's just ChatGPT. Also, maybe that's going to have to be when they put out this new series. They're going to have to do some sort of commentary on AI. I mean, crap. Why wouldn't they? Well, I don't know, because regular show did like to keep somewhat of a retro type vibe. Maybe that's why I like the show so much. That, when I think about it, the shows that have the retro vibes on them are the episodes of regular show that have that type of vibe are the ones that I like the best. Like this one right here, it was doing a current times type thing, which is great. And I'm not saying it's aged bad. It's just, well, I don't know. It was a gamble, I guess, when they did this, because there was no guarantee that a lot of these videos would be remembered. So I don't think they were going for a timeless feel. Now, in my eyes, Where the Gold At, the Leprechaun video, and the Whistle Tips, and, those will always be timeless to me. I don't think I'll ever forget them. But, there was a window of opportunity there. So good for him for making it. But when I think of the episodes of this show that I remember, it's the parody of the Goonies, the ones that reference, that's the same episode, Morimoto, things of that nature. I remember the ones that are referencing the movies and have the epic licensed soundtracks and all that, which this episode did have Pat Benatar, so I guess I'm just rambling at this point. But so goofs. Oh, yeah. Also, the warden of the internet, keeping in touch with relatives every once in a while. That's on the wiki, they say that, which may be a reference to Facebook, which was basically that's what Facebook was used for at the time. So, goofs in this episode. Wedgie Ninja's viral video sentenced him into the warden's prison with 78,000 views. Okay, I already brought this up. However, Muscle Man made a video with over 500,000 views and was able to maintain his freedom. So, yeah, there we go. It's not a bad idea for an episode. Something feels a little bit rushed about it, though. It always takes me about a week to really think these things out after I rewatch them, because I don't ever pose this question to myself I don't ever start thinking about this until the end of when I do the reviews. But something feels a little bit rushed about this episode. It had some great ideas. But yeah, I think maybe they just didn't spend as much time on this episode as they did the other ones. It's not a bad video. It's not a bad episode by any means. It's just not up to the quality that we've seen in a lot of the episodes in season 2. It's definitely not but I have a receipt. I would say probably in the last 5 episodes or so, this may be the weakest one so far. I can't really remember all the last ones. I know that I liked First Day better. I'm pretty sure I liked More Smarter better. Baby Ducks. This is about like right on par with Baby Ducks, I would say. Right around the same thing. Baby Ducks did have better action at the end, but this one had a bit better build up, plus the licensed soundtrack type thing, montage type deal in the middle. So pick your poison, It's, is what it is. I would say right around the same rating, what do the ratings matter anymore? I don't know. I would say that this one's about if we're putting, well, to be honest with you, no, that's a little too, I don't want to be too harsh on it. Like if I'm thinking of a worst episode, I can't think of a worse episode than Meet Your Maker. Not because Tim Curry's in it, because I love Tim Curry, but just there's a lot about that episode. There might be a couple more. Everybody's like, oh, Benson making bad moves. When we get to Benson making the mean moves or whatever, probably a lot of people are going to disagree with me because, people say he's a jerk or whatever, but it's like, eventually you hit a breaking point when you've got 2 jerks working for you, most of the time what he does is fair. Anyway, that's a completely different tangent. Basically because of the way that Mordecai and Rigby act and there's no, like, dynamics to their characters, but they don't learn a lesson, nothing. They just lie. I can't stand Meet Your Maker. No, I shouldn't say I can't stand it, but just relatively speaking, compared to all the other episodes we've seen, it's probably my least favorite so far. Go Viral is a little bit above it. So I'm going to say that it's somewhere in the 5.5 to 6 point out of 10 area. It's definitely not it's nowhere near the highest quality of episodes we've seen this season, but it's not bad. I would say Meet Your Maker's bad, in my opinion, for the regular show. And that's the thing, like this show, none of the episodes I would say are bad episodes just in general. It's just, like, I would rather watch Meet Your Maker than I would like an episode of, I don't know, I'm going to tick some people off here, but Gumball. Like I've seen every episode I've seen of Gumball. I liked Meet Your Maker better than it. And maybe that's just a stylistic preference. I don't know. But, is what it is. I'm not saying Gumball's bad, but I am. Not really. I don't know, preferences, and I just don't prefer this episode. It's like I can't see anything that I haven't pointed out that's just, super bad execution. It's just, this one just doesn't do it for me as much as some of the great ones that we've talked about. Like, That's My Jam, that type of episode, probably written by the same guys. That one did it for me. And it's kind of a similar concept. That's My Jam was a commentary on pop music of the time. Well, this is a commentary on viral videos of the times. I think that they executed That's My Jam a little bit better, though. So, yeah. So there we go. I'm going to give this one a 5.5. I think Baby Ducks, I'm probably wrong, but I think it got like a 6. And that's about where I would put them if I were to review them again. I think so. Am I looking over anything here? No, I'm not. So next episode we got is Skunked. And then I think after Skunked is the season finale, which I've already recorded. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you, if I haven't already told you, I've already recorded with Rob. So Rob is going to be making a comeback. I shouldn't say comeback. I mean, we just got together and recorded. So for a karaoke video. And yes, so got one more episode, Skunked, which I always lump Skunked in with Temp Check. Because they kind of seem to have similar tropes. I can't remember which one's better. I think that I liked Skunked better than Temp Check, though. I'm not sure. I do remember that's the one that has like the roadkill bingo. So, yeah. Anyway, it's going to be a good time. This was at least a regular time, so I hope you enjoyed. Once again, if you want to buy me a carbon fiber guitar, or you want to donate to my cause of getting a carbon fiber guitar, you are more than welcome to do so. Reach out to me and I'll get you set up. I say that knowing that nobody's going to reach out, so I don't got to worry about that. And obviously, I'm not going to deny money, but obviously I'm kidding. So yeah, I appreciate you listening. If you would, if you could write, if that's one thing I've been forgetting to say, if you could maybe write a review for the show, if you listened on I guess Apple does reviews. I've never used iTunes really. I've only had one iPhone and it was very old and I wasn't into podcasts at the time. So basically all my podcasts have been on Spotify. Basically I think you can give them 5-star reviews. Actually, I think you can leave reviews on Spotify now. So if you would, it would help tremendously, I believe, with the algorithms and all that. I say that acting like I know what it means when, I don't know the intricacies of that. So, but from what I hear, the reviews go a long way in getting the shows to pop up on people's recommendations. So if people could leave a review, maybe create a fake account and leave another review, that would be awesome. No, but a review would really go a long way. Follows and shares would go a long way in helping the show grow. And because I started doing shorts of the show, and man, they take a good chunk of time to create unless you're doing them with AI. And I just don't have the money to sink into getting AI to make clips of my shows. And really all they do, they don't make the videos, they just subtitle it and make little 40-second clips that you can post on social media, but nobody's going to see that on my social media account, and I don't even think those guys over at Marceline Playground, I don't think they post all that often. They may, I don't know. If you see them, I don't know, I guess tell them I said, hey. They're on, I think, Instagram at Marceline's_playground, something like that. I'm not sure. Marceline's_playground, probably. Yeah. So, yeah, sharing any of that stuff, I would just really like to get this thing to grow. Maybe, it's probably going to be a good 30 weeks from me recording this till you hear it. But by the time I get into airing season 3, it would be cool to have, around 100 listeners or something. That'd be a little bit more stakes to keep me in the game, whatnot. So, anyway, I appreciate you listening. for the 15th time. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful blah, 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 blah. And here's to enjoying your whatever you enjoy. And have you a nice lots of. I'm just trying to warm up for when you hear Rob on the show because he always does that. And I don't remember any of it. So until next time, insert catchphrase here.